today's video, gents, I'm counting down the 10 most stylish athletes in the world. Coming in at number 10, Virat Kohli. So in case you're not familiar with Virat Kohli, he's considered to be one of the best cricket players in the world and is the team captain for India. Now, what I like about Virat Kohli's style is that he can dress it up. He knows how to wear a sports jacket. He knows how to wear a suit, but most of the time he chooses to dress down. In fact, I found an article where he's given style advice talking about how to wear white sneakers and 5 different outfit ideas. And personally, when I looked at the outfits, I was impressed. What I really like, simple, clean lines, and I really liked his choice of color. So for you younger guys going for a crisp, clean look that maybe is a bit more fashion forward, I think Virat's got a lot of great images out there of him pulling off these looks, whether it be joggers, whether it be distressed jeans, actually what he pairs it with, the shirts, the very simple designs, I really like them. However, all this talk about clothes is actually distracting us from what he's best known for, which are his hairstyles and his beard styles. Now, the next few guys I want to cover, guys, they're not in this top 10 list, but they're way too famous, they're way too well known, they're way too stylish to not be talked about. So first up, I want to give an honorable mention to Conor McGregor. What I love about Conor is his use of color, his use of pattern. And if you've got a complexion, you've got lighter colored skin, lighter colored hair, there's a lot you can learn from his use of color and how he's able to pull it off. In addition, he's got his own clothing line, August McGregor, in partnership with David Heil. Next up, we've got the NBA's Russell Westbrook. What I like about Russell's style is this guy pushes the envelope. He's not afraid to do something different to stand out from the crowd, which is actually kind of difficult in the NBA when you look at guys like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. These guys have amazing style. They're always pulling off looks. In fact, when you're checking out what these guys are wearing to the NBA games, it almost seems like a fashion show. Yet Russell is able to still captivate attention. He's able to wear something which people just don't expect. And I really like how he's using style and image to grab attention and to basically raise his profile. Besides, actually, he's awesome on the court. Next up, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo. This guy makes looking sharp, makes looking good easy. He just simply goes out there and looks amazing, but he does put a lot of thought into his image and presentation. He realizes he's one of those athletes that everyone's going to pay attention to, and he wants to set the example. And when you look at his hair, it doesn't matter if it's the beginning of the match or the end of the match. The guy just has it on point. But again, you look at him in interviews, he's oftentimes got a very classic style, so he'll go to these big events. He knows how to wear black tie. He knows how to dress up when he needs to. And right with him, I also want to mention Lionel Messi. Now, a lot of people are going to say he's got disastrous style. He really doesn't have that great a style. What I like about him is that he takes chances. Here's a guy, again, he knows that the world is looking at him, and he's not afraid to try something different. So whether it's velvet, whether it's a suit that, yeah, you may not agree that you like the look of, but I really like how he takes chances. So coming back to the countdown, number 9, we've got Chris Robshaw. Now, Chris is the English rugby team captain, and in a sport where the athletes are a little bit more laid back in their style, Chris is the exception to the rule. Chris has a very athletic build. He's got a large drop. The drop is the difference between your chest measurement and your waist measurement. So for him, right here, this is going to make suits and jackets very difficult to fit off the rack. So what does Chris do? He goes custom, which I think a lot of athletes and hard-to-fit men should consider. Now, besides great rugby play, Chris is also known for his daily grooming routine. He also talks about how he's got a pre-game ritual. Basically, he soaks in the bath and he takes care of himself, because of just simply being an advocate for guys to take care of themselves and to actually think about, hey, when I set up these routines, these grooming routines, these dressing routines, it's going to be easier to dress sharp, and I'm going to feel more confident. I'm going to feel better about who I am. So coming in at number 8, gentlemen, we've got Larry Fitzgerald. What do you first notice about this guy? His body type, 6'3", lean build. Anyone out there have a build like this? Very hard to fit. So how does he do it? Because every time we see him in a suit, he looks amazing. The guy gets custom suits, and he's got over 100. So by sheer volume, I had to put him on this list. 100 custom suits. In addition, over 300 pairs of shoes. Larry also gets some bonus points as he loves cufflinks. He actually has a pair with his initials, and he likes double monk straps, which if you're not familiar with the double monk strap shoe, one of my favorites, I will link to a video down in the description in which I talk about double monk straps in case you want to learn more. Coming in at number 7, Henrik Lundqvist. So Henrik plays for the New York Rangers, but he hails from Sweden. And what I like about this guy is how he brings the European flair, that classic European look, to the United States. So after a big game, when he goes and he talks to the press, what you're going to notice about Henrik is that he walks out there and he commands presence simply by wearing a classic conservative look with one little bit, maybe a subtle bit of flash or color. That's the thing, is that he realizes that color can be used as a spice to be able to draw out the style. He's got the fit, he's got the fabric, he's got the function. He knows the style pyramid. He doesn't need to go over the top. He actually keeps a lot of things hidden. In fact, you wouldn't even see them unless you paid attention to the details. I remember he actually had one jacket which you could open up, and all of a sudden he's got quotes from The Godfather on the inside lining of the jacket. So it's things like that I really like, just that subtle elegance. Coming in at number 6, I've got Kevin Love. So when asked about his fashion, this is how Kevin explained his style philosophy. I want to make sure that all the clothing I own, all the pieces I have, I really love. In addition, I like to stay up on current trends, but I'm a big fan of great vintage pieces. Finally, make sure everything fits really well. You've got to have a great tailor. A very simple philosophy that I have to agree with because I've said the same thing many times. Everything you own, everything in your closet, make sure you love it because every time you put it on, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel amazing. Then when it comes to going after trends, okay, have some fun there, but know your history and make sure that you could wear vintage pieces because that's going to be timeless classic style. And make sure everything you put on your body fits you properly. Know the name of your tailor. In addition, he's got his own clothing line, so Kevin Love easily a slam dunk in my top 10. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have any Major League Baseball players make my top 10. That being said, there are 3 players I want to quickly draw attention to. First up, we've got Mookie Betts of the Boston Red Sox. Next up, we've got Marcus Stroman of the Toronto Blue Jays. And let's not forget Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians. So coming in at number 5, I've got PK Subban. So PK is considered to be the most stylish man in all of hockey, which is pretty amazing if you think about it because you got guys like Don Cherry giving you a run for your money. Seriously though, PK can dress sharp, and what I like about this is he wears suits before games and talks about the psychology. He says basically when wearing a suit, this puts me in the zone. It gets me ready to go out there and play. Now, I love this philosophy because I've talked about this before, the science of enclothed cognition. Basically the effect that wearing clothing that makes you feel confident can actually help you perform better. And when it comes to suits, PK is not afraid to experiment. He's going to bring in a lot of colors, he's going to bring in a lot of patterns, but he's not one-dimensional. So when it comes to his casual style, he's big into hats, he's big into leather jackets. Coming in at number 4, Cam Newton. Cam's an NFL quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, and I have to give him this spot simply because of his hat game. If you haven't seen the hats that this guy pulls off again and again, you've got to check this out. I mean, this is in a room of what these guys all consider themselves to be manly men, the most guys that don't care about style. Yet here's the guy leading this team wearing hats that some people would consider to be ridiculous. And I think, yes, some of the hats are ridiculous. But here's the thing, is that he has the confidence and the bravado, the strength of who he is and what he stands for to be able to wear this clothing in and around all these guys. And it's not, people are like, oh, he's putting on a show. And they realize that's what this is about. This guy realizes that your image and your presentation is about building a brand. And yes, his performance on the field is one thing, but performance alone is not going to take you up there to the top of the game. And yes, you can have amazing performance on the field, but if you don't actually match it with having in building up a presence and raising awareness of who you are, whether you agree or you disagree, if you follow the NFL, you know about Cam Newton and you know about his style sense. And by the way, Cam can really tone it down so he can just wear something that's classic and conservative. And I have to also give him props. The guy loves bow ties and he pulls them off well. Now, really quick, I want to mention Von Miller because I could have easily substituted him for Cam Newton. Von Miller, just like Cam Newton, is all about using style to make a statement, to be able to grab attention. He'll wear some hats, but he's more about the loud suits that are going to grab attention. So if you're looking for a way basically to be able to wear a suit and stand out from the crowd, check out Von Miller. Coming in at number 3, Shaun White, American snowboarder. Now this pick is probably going to surprise some of you guys, but did you know in 2016, he actually had a clothing line over at Macy's called White Space? What I liked about this clothing line is he was trying to do things with classic styles, but use different materials to get a different effect. So basically he had put together like a leather biker jacket, but instead of using regular leather, he used faux leather, very lightweight, very breathable. So the more I researched on Shaun White, the more I learned about this guy and how actually he would use the psychology of a style to stand apart and wasn't afraid. Basically in an industry that we just expect a certain type of look, he's not afraid to change it up completely. Coming in at number 2, Yuvraj Singh. So Yuvraj is an Indian cricket legend. This guy just retired from international play, and throughout his entire career, he was considered to be one of the best dressed athletes out there. Whether he's dressing for hot weather, cool weather, whether he's out on the field, whether he's in front of a television camera, doesn't matter. This guy always knew how to be on point. Another area that a lot of guys could learn from is how he would take Western style and Eastern styles and he would actually blend them together for his own personal style. In addition, he's got a new clothing line called YWC. Now, before I reveal number 1, let's talk about a couple legends who have amazing style. You probably already know about these guys, but I still want to talk about them briefly. So let's talk about Roger Federer. Sleek, simple, just well put together. His clothing always fits his body, and when you look at the combinations, there's nothing really that stands out about it, but it just looks amazing on him. And I have to give him just elegance. When it comes to simplicity, Roger Federer owns it. And let's not forget Tom Brady. Simple, clean, elegant. The guy knows the style pyramid. Fit, fabric, and function. However, he doesn't know jack about boots. So who's coming in at number 1 on our list? Drum roll, please. Number 1 on our list, Lewis Hamilton of Formula 1. So I have to give the number 1 spot to Lewis because he can dress up, he can dress down. The guy really just has wide range when it comes to style. He understands fashion, he understands classic style, and he's not afraid to push the envelope. I mean, just look at this outfit right here. White on white on white. The guy just pulls it off seamlessly. The outfit fits him, and everything about this is just on point. It's bold, and I've just got to give him props for this. And then look at his 2019 Met Gala outfit. I mean, he's got this metallic zigzagging outfit with a cravat and headband. Personally, I can't even imagine wearing an outfit like this, but he's able to pull it off with complete confidence. Agree, disagree, who did I miss? Let me know in the comments. So what video to watch next? How about this one, gents? You're looking for inspiration over 50. We're talking non-athletes here, but still incredibly dressed men. I've got a lot of actors, just a lot of well-known celebrities. If you're looking for style inspiration, you're going to want to watch this video, guys. I'm linking to it down in the description.